Look, Echo wasn't a bad show. And I think there's a lot of people that are Echo advocates out there and that love the Echo show. They're kind of taking things the wrong way when people say that they don't really care to have an Echo show. That's not saying that Echo was a bad show. It's just the purpose of it being there. It just didn't make any sense for it to be there. Echo could have been a supporting role in Daredevil Born Again, just like she was a supporting role in Hawkeye. And we got to learn quite a bit about Echo in just the show Hawkeye, how her relationship was with Kingpin and how deep she was with all the stuff that she was doing with Wilson Fisk. All right, and we could have learned a lot more about Echo through Daredevil Born Again if they sticked with the same formula of having her just as a supporting character, right? But they said, you know what? Let's just go ahead and make it an entire show. That way we can further explain this character. Do I think it was the right move? No. And a lot of people can agree. I'm not sitting here and speaking for everyone, but there's a lot of people that do think the same exact thing. If we're going to put Echo in to something, put her into something that people kind of really do care about. Now, this isn't me trying to disrespect culture behind Echo and stuff like that. It was very good for Marvel Studios to reach out to, I think it was the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma, and they kind of collaborated on this project. That's super dope. That's super cool. And I feel like that was the right move for them to do, to get people who are native to that specific land in order for them to give an accurate story behind Echo's nationality. So that way they can present it to the audience that kind of really doesn't have any knowledge of that specific thing right there. But overall, having Echo as a show, as just a sole show that is focused on this specific character, I don't feel like it needed to be done. I want you guys to hear this person's perspective on it. He's pretty blunt, but he gives some good points.
It's not even the fact that I dislike the character, or because I genuinely just don't care. And I think most people just don't care or didn't even fucking know it was coming out. Marvel TV is hit or miss. I genuinely don't know how you can release something like Loki Season 2 and then turn around and pump this fucking garbage out. The only reason I would watch this show, and 100% honest, is for Kingpin and Daredevil. And I think that's why most people wanted to actually watch it. And spoiler, but the biggest thing that comes out of this show is that Kingpin is going to be running for New York City mayor. So if they're trying to set up this Spider-Man, Kingpin, Daredevil, citywide conflict, personally, I would say do it in something we actually care about. Like Daredevil Born Again. I just don't see why we have shit like this show in Secret Invasion, and then we don't have a Moon Knight Season 2. Like, I don't know why this is a touchy subject, but I'd rather see Moon Knight Season 2 than fucking Echo. I'm sorry. Marvel TV, man, it has some of the highest highs and some of the fucking dirtiest, shittiest lows. I don't understand it.
73% of the critics recommend that you go watch this film, and 63% of the audience recommend that you go watch this film. Like I said, I'm just going to keep repeating myself. Echo is not a bad show. It just doesn't need to be made, and she can be put in to another project besides having her own sole show. We just recently got done with Loki Season 2, and it hypes us up for the big story that Marvel has in their timeline. But then when you come out right after and you give us Echo, it's kind of like it doesn't really progress the big story that Marvel has in their multiverse saga. It's kind of just like, what's the point? And that's kind of the angle I'm trying to get at. Like, what is the point? If we're in the multiverse saga, what does a grounded story like Echo have to do with the multiverse saga that we're in? You see how that's kind of just a little bit weird, how we're in the multiverse saga, but yet we're getting a grounded story about a character that I don't know how they kind of fit in with the multiverse saga. I don't think that Echo is the worst Disney show that was put out. I don't think that it is the best Marvel show that Disney has put out either. Let's go over some bad shows. Secret Invasion. All right. Now, this had the potential to be an amazing show, but we ended up getting something very lackluster and honestly pretty stupid. She-Hulk Attorney of Law. And there is millions of people that would agree on this. Now, before She-Hulk Attorney of Law came out, the marketing strategy for this to get people to watch this, you got me. All right. But it's only because of Daredevil. You did not get me because I was invested on knowing about She-Hulk, all right? Just like it translates to this. You did not get me to be invested into Echo. You got me invested into more of Wilson Fisk, and you got me invested into more of Daredevil. A lot of people can agree with the same exact thing right here. But Echo is a dope character, All right, Echo is a complete badass, and the fighting in here was super amazing. I liked the grittiness. But if you're adding in so much other stuff like Wilson Fisk and you're adding in Daredevil, that's where my attention is going to be leaning towards more. Now, I'm also not sitting here saying that Echo shouldn't even be introduced. Echo was already introduced in Hawkeye, and I was pretty interested in the character. And if she had popped up in Daredevil, I would still be interested in the character. Echo herself is an interesting character, but it doesn't need to be a show. Marvel shows are hit or miss a lot of the time. And I feel like what Marvel is kind of doing is basically just introducing a lot of characters that they can just push out really quickly. Hence is why there's so many freaking shows coming out and honestly kind of not a lot of movies. But if I were to give my honest review on Echo, I would probably give it a 6.5 out of 10. Only because I feel like the story was a bit rushed, but hey, they only had 5 episodes, so that's all that they could do, which is also another flaw with these Disney Plus shows is that there's so little episodes that, you know, you're kind of cramming in a story in 5 episodes. Almost kind of like Moon Knight, which I would have wanted a Moon Knight season 2 over Echo. Shit, I probably would have took a WandaVision season 2 if they had left it open for it. It is what it is. I'm not Kevin Feige. I'm not Marvel. I'm not Disney. So whatever they got going on is what they got going on. When they put out the next project, I'm for sure going to watch it because that's just what I do. That's what a lot of people are going to do, especially whether you hate the Marvel shows or not. If you're a Marvel fan, you're going to watch it, or at least look some shit up about the show. Thank you guys for watching. If you made it to the end of the video, leave your honest thoughts. All right. I don't hold back. You know, if you really do love Echo and you feel like what I'm saying is wrong, leave it there in the comments. I'm asking for it. If you agree with me, but you have a little bit more to add to it, go ahead and leave that down in the comments as well. Leave a like on this video because that helps out. Subscribe if you are new and stay tuned for the next video.